This is Mel Pine with the 18th episode of the From the Pure Land podcast. The headline of this one, and forgive the pun, is "You're a being," B-E-I-N-G, not a being, B-E-E-I-N-G. A guided meditation for slowing down during the busy and distracting holiday season. And if you go to my website and blog, which is melpine, M-E-L-P-I-N-E, .substack.com, you'll see an illustration that I had done of a bumblebee hunched over a bit like a walking person with a Santa hat on. It begins with a quotation from Thich Nhat Hanh. We have to learn the art of stopping our thinking, our habit energies, our forgetfulness, the strong emotions that rule us. Now that's a good subject to talk with your chiropractor about when you're lying face down on her adjustment table in an office adjoining a shopping complex as the December holidays approach. Subject, of course, the art of stopping. Not the art of shopping, the art of stopping. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I had already decided that because of the hectic holiday season, my next podcast would be a guided meditation listeners could use whenever they find themselves busily being and forgetting to simply be. Then Doc Misty said she had been thinking about the importance of stopping and found it hard to build even 10 minutes a day into her busy schedule for meditation. So I'll have her and people like her in mind as I lead this. I hope it's useful for those newer to meditation and the more experienced listeners to From the Pure Land. Before we begin, though, I'll say a few words about Thay. That's what his students call the venerable Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, whose quotation I read at the beginning. He died in 2022 at the age of 95. And his students call him Thay, which is the Vietnamese word for teacher. It was my privilege to consider Thay my primary teacher for almost 3 decades, and to have attended numerous in-person events with him, including a week-long retreat in the mountains of Vermont. If you're unfamiliar with Thich Nhat Hanh, consider reading his classic book, The Miracle of Mindfulness, or another favorite of mine, Living Buddha, Living Christ. Now that retreat in Vermont was held at the Ascutney Mountain Resort in the skiing off-season. The retreat organizers had rented the place and hired a local catering firm to supply vegetarian meals for us. The caterers were given one unusual instruction. At every meal, the bell of mindfulness would be rung once or twice. Thay's students know what the sound of the bell means. When they hear it, they are asked to stop whatever they are doing, as long as they can do so safely, listen to the beautiful sound as it fades, focus on their breathing, and return fully to their true home. That's the place within us where we feel safe and complete, kind of our island of refuge. So the catering servers and kitchen staff were asked to do the same. At each meal, as the bell sounded, they would stop along with the rest of us. Sometimes they'd stop in mid-stride, holding a tray of food or empty plates. At the retreat's final meal, as we thanked the catering employees, they told us how much they enjoyed this new practice of stopping. So I invite you now to find a comfortable, quiet spot to stop and breathe when you hear the sound of the bell. You might think to yourself, listen, listen, this beautiful sound brings me back to my true home. And I'll give you a moment to get settled. As usual, 3 bells starts the meditation period, 3 bells ends it. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend anxiety and sorrow. The key here is to be comfortable, to be relaxed, and yet at the same time aware. Relaxed and aware. There's no doing this wrong. Whatever you experience is right for you. For the next few minutes, you're not going to judge yourself. You're not going to judge your thoughts. You're just going to be. Another way of expressing the pun I used in the headline is to remember that you're a human being, not a human doing. You don't need to do anything except relax and be aware. And if you have trouble relaxing and have trouble being aware, that's okay too. You might scan your body for areas that are tense. And soften them. And I'd like you to turn your awareness to your breath. You might be seated or on a chair or on the floor. while you focus on your breath, you're aware that thoughts might come, and whatever comes, that's okay. You can just let it be. You accept what happens without judgment. You're in uncritical awareness. As we breathe in and out, we're aware that the past is gone, the future isn't here. The only thing we know is the current moment. The only thing we can rely on is the current moment. And the current moment is fine. Doesn't matter what's going to happen tomorrow, or how late we are for an appointment, or how early we are for something. It doesn't matter what we did yesterday, because life exists only in this current moment. Nothing can harm us as long as we remain right here in the current moment. We might begin breathing in, saying current moment to ourselves on our in-breath. And then on our out-breath, only moment. Current moment, only moment. Current moment, only moment. Now we might vary it a little bit. Once again, on the in-breath, current moment, and on the out-breath, wonderful moment. Current moment, wonderful moment. And here's another one. On your in-breath, I know I'm alive. On your out-breath, I smile to life. Know I'm alive, smile to life. And you're breathing naturally. We'll keep this meditation short. Something you can think about and come back to when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you've got that list of things to check off, gifts to buy, items to wrap, cards to send. Relatives to worry about, food to prepare. You can always just stop. Stop and breathe. Stopping the habit energies and the strong emotions that rule us. And just let ourselves be. Before ending the podcast, I'll pass on a suggestion from Thich Nhat Hanh. Designate something unpredictable in your life as the bell of mindfulness. Could be the sound of an incoming phone call, the sound of a text, or an email. Could even be a red traffic light. See if you can train yourself to react not with agitation to those things or a feeling of haste that you have to pick up the phone or read the email or the text. And see if you can instead use them as a cue to stop and breathe. Use them as your bell of mindfulness. So your friend trying to call you might have to wait a few seconds longer than usual, but you'll be more present when you answer. Now please join me in the prayer known as the Four Immeasurables, as translated by Anam Tupton. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings never be separated from joy that knows no suffering. May all beings abide in equanimity, free from bias and hatred.